Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us.
Yeah.
So today, we're diving into a topic that you guys specifically requested.
Okay.
Confidence. You sent us a link to this YouTube video.
Right.
Time to get confident, baby, by Thewizardliz.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this one.
Yeah, she's got this like really bold, direct style in the video.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a big sister.
Yeah, like a big sister giving you advice, like a pep talk.
Totally. But before we get into all of her tips and stuff,
Okay.
I want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What makes you feel confident?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, just take a second and think about it.
Yeah, take a second.
And we'll see if your ideas kind of line up with what Liz is sharing in this video.
Keep that in mind as we go through this.
Okay, so Liz jumps right into this idea
Okay.
that she calls the would you buy it mentality.
Or would you buy it?
Basically, it's like asking yourself,
Oh, okay.
like if I were a product on the shelf, would I convince myself to buy it?
Interesting.
Like, would I buy myself?
Oh, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah. And
It's a clever way to get you thinking about your own value, right?
Yeah.
It's not about being arrogant,
Right.
but recognizing your strengths and like really owning them.
Totally.
Like if you were pitching yourself to an investor, would you be enthusiastic?
Yeah.
Would you highlight your unique qualities?
I struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us were kind of taught to be humble,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
to like downplay our accomplishments.
Right.
So do you think we're naturally wired to be our own biggest fans?
It's definitely a learned skill for a lot of us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're often conditioned to focus on our flaws, to compare ourselves to others. But Liz is challenging us to shift that perspective,
Yeah.
to see ourselves through a lens of self-belief and appreciation.
I love that.
Yeah.
So how do we actually start doing that?
Yeah, how do we do it?
Because Liz doesn't just leave us hanging with this catchy metaphor. She gets really specific about things we can control
Okay.
versus the things we can't control.
Okay, that makes sense.
She's a big advocate for focusing your energy on what you can actually change.
Yeah, okay.
Like your mindset, your self-talk, the choices you make every day.
Those are the things you can control.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And she has this hilarious story about her mom
What is it?
telling her, people are going to complain about you,
Oh, God.
even if you were flat on the ground.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's so true.
It really highlights how pointless it is to try and please everyone.
You just can't win.
You can't win.
Yeah,
You can't control how other people perceive you,
you can't.
but you can control how you react to their opinions.
That's so true.
Yeah. So once we've shifted our focus to what we can control,
Okay.
Liz gives us these practical building blocks for actually building confidence.
Awesome. I like building blocks.
Right. And she breaks it down into like
Okay.
3 main areas.
Right.
Routines, financial stability, and communication skills.
Interesting.
And what's interesting is she ties each of these
Okay.
back to her own life.
Yeah.
She talks about how as a kid, she used to go door to door selling waffles
What?
that she had decorated herself.
That's so cool.
I know, it's a great example because it shows that confidence isn't always about these grand gestures.
Right.
You know, it can be built through these small, everyday actions
Yeah.
that demonstrate self-reliance and a willingness to put yourself out there.
That's awesome. And she wasn't afraid to hustle even as a kid,
Yeah,
which speaks to her entrepreneurial spirit.
totally. And it's about taking initiative, being resourceful, not being afraid to try new things.
Totally.
And that kind of proactiveness can snowball
Yeah.
into bigger and bigger achievements
I love that.
as you gain experience and confidence. And speaking of trying new things, she's a big proponent of lifelong learning.
Oh, yeah.
I was surprised she specifically recommended How to Win Friends and Influence People.
It's a classic.
It is a classic, but some people might think it's outdated.
Yeah.
What do you think makes that book still so valuable today?
Well, what's interesting about that book is that it focuses on the fundamentals of human connection. Building rapport, showing genuine interest in others, finding common ground.
Right.
These are timeless skills that are essential for building confidence in social situations.
Totally.
It's not about manipulation.
Right.
It's about understanding how to communicate effectively and build strong, positive relationships.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to add that one to my reading list.
Definitely should check it out.
Okay, so we've got routines, finances, and communication skills.
Okay.
But then Liz throws in some advice that's a little more,
Oh.
shall we say, unconventional.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I like unconventional.
Let's hear it.
All right, let's go. Yeah, Liz definitely doesn't shy away from some out there ideas.
Right.
She even encourages a bit of positive delusion.
Positive delusion?
Yeah, like believing in your dreams even when they seem totally far-fetched.
Okay, I have to admit, when I first heard that, I was like, wait, is she telling us to lie to ourselves?
Yeah.
But then she brought up the concept of fake it till you make it, and it started to click a little bit.
Yeah, from a psychological perspective, what Liz is tapping into here is the power of self-efficacy.
Self-efficacy.
The belief in your own ability to achieve a specific goal.
Okay.
And research shows that even if that belief is initially a little shaky, the act of taking action, of putting yourself out there, can actually strengthen it over time.
Oh, wow.
You start to see yourself as someone who can achieve those goals, even if you didn't fully believe it at first.
So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way.
Exactly.
You act as if you're confident, and eventually you actually become more confident.
Exactly. And that can lead to real-world results. Think about athletes who visualize themselves winning a competition.
Oh, yeah.
They're essentially practicing success in their minds, which can give them an edge when it comes to the actual event.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
And then there's the sunglasses thing.
Sunglasses.
I mean, wearing sunglasses to practice eye contact?
To practice eye contact.
That sounds a little wacky, but it kind of makes sense when you think about it.
It does.
It's a way to gradually desensitize yourself to something that might feel uncomfortable or intimidating. You're essentially lowering the stakes.
Yeah.
Creating a safe space to practice a skill without feeling like you're under a microscope.
Right.
And as you get more comfortable, you can slowly remove that crutch and start making eye contact without the sunglasses.
That's a great way to think about it, like training wheels for your social skills.
Totally.
Yeah.
She also talks about intentionally doing things that feel cringy.
Oh, cringe.
Which honestly makes me a little uncomfortable just thinking about it. But I get where she's coming from.
Yeah, what's fascinating there is that she's encouraging us to embrace discomfort as a path to growth.
Okay.
By pushing past those feelings of awkwardness or self-consciousness, we build resilience and learn to accept ourselves, imperfections and all.
I remember one time I had to give a presentation at work.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so nervous I thought I was going to pass out.
Oh, no.
But I forced myself to do it anyway. And you know what?
What?
It wasn't nearly as bad as I'd imagined.
Yeah.
And afterward, I felt this huge sense of accomplishment.
Exactly. And that feeling of accomplishment can be incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
It reinforces the belief that you are capable of handling challenging situations.
Right.
Which can boost your confidence in other areas of life as well.
I like that.
Yeah.
She also emphasizes the importance of body language.
Body language.
Standing tall, making eye contact, taking up space.
Yeah.
It seems so simple.
Right.
But I've definitely noticed that when I consciously try to project confidence through my body language, I actually feel more confident internally.
There's a ton of research that backs that up.
Really?
Our body language can actually influence our hormones and neurochemicals.
Oh, wow.
Literally changing the way we feel.
That's crazy.
So by adopting a more confident posture, we're not just sending a message to others.
Right.
We're sending a message to our own brains as well.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like a feedback loop. Our body language affects our thoughts and feelings, and our thoughts and feelings affect our body language.
Yes.
So even if you don't feel confident initially,
Right.
acting confident can actually help you become more confident.
Precisely. And this ties into Liz's whole philosophy of living as the main character of your life.
Living as the main character.
It's about taking ownership of your narrative.
Yeah.
Making choices that align with your values.
Right.
And not letting other people dictate your story.
Right. And a big part of that is setting boundaries.
Boundaries.
Knowing your worth and what you're not willing to tolerate. She gives this example of a friend who's super successful,
Okay.
but refuses to discuss business after 5 p.m.
Wow.
Even though he could be making more money.
Right.
He prioritizes his time and well-being.
It's a powerful example of someone who understands that their worth isn't tied to their productivity or their income. They've set clear boundaries around their time and energy.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to enforce them.
Yeah.
Even if it means saying no to opportunities.
Which can be really hard.
Yeah.
Especially in our culture where we're often taught to hustle and grind all the time.
Right.
But I love how Liz reframes expectations.
Expectations.
It's not about demanding things from other people.
Yeah.
It's about knowing what you deserve.
Yeah.
And not settling for anything less.
That's such an important distinction.
Yeah.
It's about shifting from a place of scarcity to a place of abundance.
Abundant.
Believing that you are worthy of love, respect,
Yeah.
and fulfilling relationships and not compromising on those things.
And this leads us to gratitude.
Gratitude.
Something Liz talks about a lot.
Yeah.
She seems to believe that having a gratitude practice is essential for building confidence.
There's a powerful connection between gratitude and self-worth.
Yeah.
When you focus on what you're grateful for, you shift your attention to the positive aspects of your life,
Right.
which can boost your overall sense of well-being and make you feel more content with who you are.
Totally.
It's like you're rewiring your brain to see the good rather than dwelling on the negative.
I love that.
Yeah.
She even shares this simple but powerful morning routine
Okay.
where she expresses gratitude for her body,
For her body.
even the parts she used to be critical of.
Wow. Imagine your brain is like Velcro for negative thoughts and Teflon for positive ones.
Oh, that's a good one.
Liz's gratitude practice helps us rewire that.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have.
from the power of self-efficacy to the importance of gratitude.
Yeah.
But Liz doesn't stop there.
Okay. Where does she go?
She also talks about the importance of embracing imperfection
Okay.
and finding joy in the journey rather than constantly striving for an unattainable ideal.
I like that.
Right? She uses this powerful anecdote about a model
Okay.
who cried over heavily edited photos,
Oh, wow.
highlighting the unrealistic beauty standards we're often bombarded with.
That's so true.
It's a reminder that what we see in the media often bears little resemblance to reality.
Yeah.
It makes you realize how much pressure there is to conform to these impossible standards of beauty.
Yeah.
It's no wonder so many people struggle with body image and self-confidence.
Totally.
And Liz encourages us to push back against those harmful narratives.
Yeah.
She emphasizes finding activities that make you feel good in your own skin,
Okay.
whether it's dancing, yoga,
Yeah.
hiking, or something else entirely.
I like that.
It's about celebrating your body for what it can do,
Yeah.
rather than focusing on how it looks.
That's a good point.
I think that's such an important message, especially for young people who are constantly bombarded with these idealized images on social media.
It's everywhere.
It's
It's so easy to get caught up in comparisons and feel like you're not good enough.
Totally.
Liz is basically saying, screw that.
Yeah.
She wants us to embrace our uniqueness, to find what makes us feel confident and comfortable in our own bodies, and to celebrate that.
Yeah.
It's about shifting the focus from external validation to internal acceptance.
Yes, exactly. And she also talks about
Uh-huh.
the importance of being comfortable with solitude,
Solitude.
of enjoying your own company.
Okay.
She even jokes that she'd be her own best friend,
Oh, I love that.
which I totally get.
Yeah.
I think there's a real strength in being able to be alone with your thoughts and not constantly needing to be around other people.
There's a quiet confidence that comes from being self-sufficient,
Yeah.
from not relying on external sources for your sense of worth or validation.
Right.
When you're comfortable in your own skin, you're less likely to feel threatened or insecure when others need space.
It's about trusting that they'll come back when they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, you can focus on your own growth and self-discovery.
Exactly. And this brings us back to one of Liz's central themes,
Yeah.
living as the main character of your own life.
She really emphasizes that, doesn't she?
She does.
It's about recognizing that you're not just a supporting character in someone else's story.
Right.
You're the author of your own narrative.
It's a call to action,
Yeah.
an invitation to step into your power and make choices that align with your values and aspirations.
And she has this thought experiment
Okay.
where she asks you to imagine being old and looking back on your life
Mm-hmm.
and thinking, why was I so insecure?
Oh, yeah.
I had everything.
I like that.
It's a powerful reminder to let go of those self-doubts
Yeah.
and embrace the present moment.
What's fascinating there is that Liz is reframing the concept of aging.
Yeah.
It's not something to be feared or dreaded, but rather an opportunity to reflect on a life well lived, a life filled with experiences, growth, and, yes, confidence.
She encourages us to be a little silly, to embrace our inner child,
I like that.
to create memories that we'll cherish as we get older. It's a reminder that confidence isn't about being serious or stoic all the time.
Yeah.
It's about allowing yourself to have fun and express your authentic self.
And it's about realizing that those seemingly insignificant moments of joy and laughter can actually contribute to a deep sense of contentment and well-being.
Now, what does this all mean for you? We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From practical tips like setting boundaries and practicing gratitude to deeper psychological insights about self-acceptance and the power of positive self-talk.
That's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
So think back to that question I asked at the beginning.
Okay.
Has your perspective on what makes you feel confident shifted at all?
Maybe you've identified some new tools or strategies that you want to try. Or perhaps you've simply been inspired by Liz's energy and enthusiasm.
Right.
Whatever the takeaway, the most important thing is that you continue to explore this topic.
Totally.
To experiment with different approaches and discover what works best for you.
Because ultimately, confidence is a deeply personal journey.
It is.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Yeah, that's true.
But the rewards are well worth the effort.
Absolutely. Confidence is like a key that unlocks so many doors in life. It empowers us to pursue our goals, to build meaningful relationships, and to live a life that's both fulfilling and authentic.
So true. As we wrap up, here's one final thought to ponder.
Okay.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of confidence advice, what would it be?
That's a good question.
Yeah, hold on to that question.
Okay.
As you move forward on your own journey of self-discovery and empowerment.
Remember, you are capable of amazing things.
Yes.
Embrace the journey, believe in yourself, and never stop exploring the incredible potential that lies within you.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep shining your light.